The drama swirling around Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Diddy has officially hit critical mass. We're talking lawsuits, dark rituals, and explosive footage that could obliterate the careers of some of the biggest names in music. This isn't just some tabloid fluff. This could blow the doors off Hollywood's most protected secrets. Word on the street is Jay-Z just turned his back on Diddy and what he did in the process. Baby, it's got the whole industry gasping for air. Welcome to the side of the music world they don't want you to see, the twisted, guarded underbelly where silence is bought, secrets are sacred, and exposure can cost you everything. Let's dive into the mess unraveling behind the scenes of hip-hop's royal couple, the Carters, and their alleged ties to Diddy's crumbling empire, because Jay-Z just made a move that could change everything. The case that shook the music industry. It all started with a federal case so disturbing it left jaws on the floor. A woman going by Jane Doe stepped forward, and what she claimed? Boo, she said she was just 13 years when she was sexually abused by none other than Jay-Z and Diddy during one of those exclusive parties. The courtroom didn't play around with this one. A federal judge ruled that Jane Doe can stay anonymous for her own protection. Jay-Z's team, though, they tried every legal trick in the book to force her identity into the open, but the judge called them out, saying their aggressive moves were straight-up intimidation. Jay-Z's attorneys aren't backing down. They're calling the claims inconsistent and accusing Jane Doe of launching a blackmail scheme. They even tried to get the case thrown out, but the judge said nope, this case is moving forward. And the fact that Jane Doe is still being protected, that alone tells you how serious and high stakes this really is. Jaguar Wright spills the tea and then some. Now this is where the story gets straight-up horrifying. Jaguar Wright, yes, the industry whistleblower who's already exposed way too much, went nuclear in an interview with Piers Morgan. She didn't just talk about shady deals or ego battles. She flat out said Jay-Z and Beyoncé are knee-deep in disturbing rituals and cover-ups. According to her, the Carters weren't just at Diddy's parties. They were active players in what she described as drugging, abusing, and even dumping girls in alleyways. Her exact words? I've seen the tapes. Yes, she claimed to have her own evidence of what they did. Jaguar didn't just aim at Jay-Z. She said Diddy is one of the most dangerous men she's ever met, protected by powerful forces. According to her, this isn't some random accusation, it's years of systematic abuse hidden by hush money and NDAs. Of course, not everyone's buying it. Some folks are calling her bitter or clout hungry, but the whisperers, they've become screams. Online forums, podcasts, and blogs are lit up trying to piece together the puzzle. The Kathy White mystery, another red flag. As if that wasn't enough, there's the dark cloud around Kathy White, a publicist and fitness expert who was allegedly romantically involved with Jay-Z years ago. Some say she got pregnant by him. Others claim she was about to expose his infidelity and his darkest secrets. But before she could speak out, she died under mysterious circumstances. Rumors have been swirling that Jay-Z or even Beyoncé may have been involved, either directly or through someone else. Jaguar Wright hinted at Beyoncé's temper playing a role, and let's be real, when this many red flags pop up, it's hard not to wonder. No one's proved anything, but the theories just won't die. And the way it all went down, it's left way too many people convinced there's a dark side to the Carters that's been buried for way too long. Diddy's empire falls, and Jay-Z distances himself now, while Jay-Z and Beyoncé try to fend off the heat. Diddy's entire world is collapsing in slow motion. He's facing accusations that go way beyond partying. We're talking sex trafficking, racketeering, and masterminding, decades of systemic abuse, all hidden under the glitz of his music empire. Multiple lawsuits have named him. Victims are lining up to tell their stories. Sponsors have pulled the plug. Collaborators have gone silent. It's giving complete meltdown. But what's even more telling, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are now backing away fast. Once they were the tightest clique in music. Now they're doing everything they can to cut ties. Sources say Jay-Z is trying to quietly sever his relationship with Diddy and even leak evidence to protect himself. Why? Because there's talk of scandalous tapes, and some of them allegedly feature Jay-Z and Beyoncé in compromising situations at Diddy's infamous parties. Is Jay-Z trying to bury the tapes? The wildest twist? Insiders say there's footage, video proof of Jay-Z and Beyoncé engaging in rituals that could absolutely ruin their reputations. Where did it come from? Word is Diddy might have leaked it himself as revenge. Feeling betrayed by Jay-Z's distance and panicking under legal pressure, he may have decided to drag others down with him. And even if that footage never surfaces, the rumor alone has torched their polished public image. Jay-Z isn't just sitting back and waiting for things to blow over. Nope. His legal team is in full-on attack mode, laser focused on discrediting Jane Doe. They've filed motion after motion, trying to get her name out there, trying to tear her down. But the judge, she's not playing that game. Judge Annalisa Torres straight up called them out for filing combative motions containing inflammatory language and said their behavior was a waste of the court's it's time. In other words, she saw right through the intimidation tactics. But it gets worse. Jane Doe claimed in court that 2 investigators allegedly hired by Jay-Z's legal team showed up at her house. Let that sink in. 2 strangers knocking on her door, pressuring her to sign a statement saying the whole lawsuit was fake. They asked her if her attorney had paid her to lie. She told them no. She told them to leave. And later she told the court she was terrified that these people knew her name and address even though she was supposed to be anonymous. The internet erupted. Fans and legal analysts alike started asking the big question. Just how far is Jay-Z willing to go to protect his name? The Foxy Brown rumors and the Whisper network about young girls. And if you thought things couldn't get darker, think again, because the name Foxy Brown keeps coming up. Back when Foxy was just 15, it's been rumored she and Jay-Z were more than just collaborators. Jay-Z at the time was 27. Let that math hit you. People have whispered about their relationship for years, but now, in light of the current allegations, those whispers are getting louder. And it's not just Foxy. Insiders claim Jay-Z's history with underage girls might be more disturbing than we ever knew. When you pair that with his friendships with men like Russell Simmons and Diddy, both tied to their own abuse allegations, the puzzle starts forming a much darker picture. The Aaliyah conspiracy. Was her death more than a tragedy? And here comes one of the biggest conspiracy theories in hip-hop history. Aaliyah, the beautiful, legendary R&B princess whose life was tragically cut short in a 2001 plane crash. She was on top of the world. Her star was rising so fast, she was set to take over the industry. But some people believe that wasn't just coincidence. That maybe, just maybe, she posed a threat to someone else's empire. See, Aaliyah was beloved, talented, and magnetic. And back then, Beyoncé was still climbing. Some speculate that Jay-Z saw Aaliyah's rise as a threat to the power couple brand he was trying to build with Bey. There's no solid evidence, no smoking gun, but when you connect the dots, some say the timing and the industry's silence speaks volumes. Witchcraft and control. Beyoncé's former drummer breaks her silence. Now let's pivot back to Beyoncé. In 2018, her former drummer Kimberly Thompson filed for a restraining order, but it wasn't over a paycheck or a contract dispute. No, she accused Beyoncé of using witchcraft to control and manipulate her. Yes, witchcraft. She said her phone was being tapped, her finances were being messed with, and that Queen Bee used dark spiritual practices to spy on and psychologically torment her. Back then, people laughed it off, called Thompson crazy. But now, with everything bubbling up around Bey and Jay, people are giving those claims a second look. Even Ashley Everett, Beyoncé's longtime dance captain, has been acting shady on social media. Cryptic posts, odd behavior. Some think she's hinting that there's way more to the story than anyone realizes. Chloe Bailey's career struggles. Is Beyoncé holding her back? Speaking of Beyoncé's circle, let's talk about Chloe Bailey. She's got the voice, the looks, the stage presence. She should be topping charts right now, but instead, her solo career has kinda stalled. Some fans are starting to ask why. Chloe is signed to Beyoncé's label Parkwood Entertainment, and now there are rumors swirling that Beyoncé, ever the perfectionist, might be keeping Chloe in her shadow on purpose. Why? Because letting her rise too fast might threaten the queen's throne. It's a familiar pattern. Let's not forget Destiny's Child and how Latavia Roberson and LaToya Luckett got the boot once Bey's spotlight got bright. They've both spoken publicly about being pushed out and feeling betrayed. So when it comes to Chloe, people are starting to ask, is this mentorship or micromanagement? The carefully crafted Queen Bee image, a power play in disguise. Everything Beyoncé does is calculated. From her album drops to her Instagram captions, nothing is left to chance. But some industry insiders say this obsession with control might not be about perfection. It might be about power. There's growing speculation that Beyoncé controls how other artists in her orbit are positioned. She shapes media narratives. She dictates timing. And she might even play a role in who gets the spotlight and who doesn't. What if her entire queen image wasn't just talent, but strategy? Jay-Z's rise, powered by love or business. Now, let's rewind for a second. When Jay-Z married Beyoncé, his image changed almost overnight. Gone was the rough street rapper. In came the businessman, the mogul, the husband, the father. He started landing brand deals, partnerships, and respect from industries that once looked down on him. Some folks say his marriage to Bey was the ultimate career move, one that gave him access, protection, and polish. And for Beyoncé, tying herself to Jay-Z allowed her to cement her role as a boss, not just in pop, but in hip-hop too. Was it love? Was it business? Or was it both? Diddy's sick allegations and Hollywood's darkest secrets. Back to Diddy, because the rabbit hole just keeps going. Multiple people have now come forward saying he hosted sick, disturbing parties. Parties where women, artists, even employees were allegedly abused and filmed in shocking situations. Sources claim there were drugs, coercion, and even sex workers being trafficked across state lines to service guests. And many of these encounters recorded. It's a chilling image of how deep the rot runs in Hollywood. And Jay-Z, Beyoncé, insiders are whispering they weren't just innocent guests. They may have known, they may have seen, and they may have stayed silent. Beyoncé's silence, a PR move or the beginning of the end? Here's what's got fans really buzzing. Beyoncé is staying completely silent. She's always been careful about her image, yes, but this time, She's not saying a word, not in defense of Jay, not in denial of the rumors, nothing. Sources close to the couple claim Beyoncé started moving money around in mid-2023, allegedly prepping for the worst before the public even knew what was coming. So now people are asking, is Beyoncé distancing herself on purpose? Is she plotting her exit? Because if the footage leaks, if the lawsuits intensify, if Jay-Z's empire starts to fall, Queen Bee will not be going down with him. That's one thing everybody agrees on. Hollywood is cracking, and the Carters might be next. What we're seeing right now is the crumbling of the old Hollywood. Survivors are speaking out, secrets are being exposed, and the people we once idolized, they're being revealed for who they really are. Jay-Z flipped on Diddy to protect himself, but it might be too late. The skeletons are out, the stories are public, and Beyoncé's silence, it says everything. One thing's for sure, the world is watching, and the fall of hip-hop's royal family might be the scandal that finally shatters the illusion of control that's kept Hollywood untouchable for decades.